Okay, so thanks to the Wayback machine, and therefore my discovery of it, I thought we should try touching on something that we touched on very briefly a little bit ago. I say a little bit, my upload schedule might mean last week. Uh, and that is the website extraordinaryintelligence.com. When last we saw of it, it was an insurance website, and like one of the top posts was about UFOs. But in 2019, apparently it was about bees, which chemtrails are killing, which I think the Krondakians wanted to warn us about before their saucer tragically crashed in the Southwest desert. So it changed quite a bit over the years since it first got logged, it looks like in 2009, so let's start there. First snapshot. Let's see what we find. Home, about EI, contact us, worldblogosphere.com home, arts and leisure, fine art, photography, environment, wild weather, Rush Limbaugh pokes fun at suffering North Dakotans, what's next? Same thing. Let's try 2011. Choose a random snapshot here. Extraordinary intelligence. Conspiracies, oddities, mysteries, curiosities. There's a shop. There was a shop. 10 extra. Pat Uskert of UFO Hunters. A show I've actually seen. I wonder what this is. I wonder what they asked him. I never dreamed I would be part of a TV show in front of the cameras for UFO hunters. I hoped to be behind cameras, helping to produce the show, but executive producers decided I should be in the show. You did pretty well, I gotta say. If you ever happen to watch this, you did pretty well in front of the camera. How would you define the aspects of your worldview that make you suited to working on a show like UFO Hunters? I don't like foggy areas around my reality. I like specifics when I can get them. If my mother says, let's go shopping, I have to ask her, go shopping for what before agreeing to anything, or else she will burn up my whole day shopping for shoes. What inspired you to investigate UFOs and extraterrestrials specifically? The Disclosure Project. Stephen Greer, once again, hello, it's been a couple of videos. And then in 2004, he had his own sighting. I feel that. There's Bill Burns, who's kind of a pig-headed asshole. There's the other guy, his name escapes me. Do you have a favorite episode or a moment from the show? The UFOs over Edwards. Oh, that must be one of those base videos. I was. There was a moment Bill and I got into a big argument about alien hybrids, and it was good fun. The episode focused on the lives of two guys in two different parts of the USA who are seeing UFOs and who suspect they were hybrids. I continue dying a little inside. When people start telling me that there are hybrids, it raises a big red flag for me, and I urge them to talk to friends and family and maybe see a therapist. Thank you. Pat Usker, you blessing. You absolute blessing. This has cleared my skin, cured my depression, watered my crops, and solved all of my other problems. That's something you kind of want to iron out, you know. Bill, however, without too much evidence, supported these guys 100%, telling them that they were most likely half alien. I was very frustrated with him for that. I wanted the show to be objective, scientific. If they were hybrids, fine, but let's not make that conclusion until we have seen something more than testimony, or else UFO hunters begins to look like UFO dorks. I had to keep our credibility. Producers gave me the green light to yell at Bill, so I did. Fans say that scene was a long time coming. Nothing against Bill, of course. He is an encyclopedia of UFO knowledge. He is a master of much UFO knowledge, and his book, The Day After Roswell, is a significant accomplishment. But, and this is my opinion here, his total immersion into the topic for so many years has made him biased toward a UFO reality where aliens walk the earth. Again, just my opinion. Bill once told me he saw an alien in a supermarket standing in the checkout line. Do we sell foods that aliens can eat? Maybe we should iron that out before we let aliens wander our supermarkets, potentially exposing themselves to things that can make them sick or kill them. He said the alien looked like a woman, but she had big black eyes. He was dead serious. Make of that what you will. The more you know. Ugh. Can you give me a couple of examples of Bill's theories about extraterrestrials and or UFOs? Bill has some interesting theories on the UFO phenomenon. One of them is the time machine theory. The UFOs and their pilots are us from another time, probably the future, traveling into the past for reasons we can only guess. I'll buy that, why not? And the other theory Bill rolls with is based on Isaac Asimov's Foundation trilogy, that humanity was at its peak tens of thousands of years ago, and we were once part of a huge intergalactic empire. I want to read this book. Beings that were much like us came and went in their spacecraft doing business on Earth. This empire fell apart, traffic to Earth stopped, and pockets of these beings were stranded on Earth. Over thousands of years and through a long ice age, the descendants of these castaways became what we are today. Occasionally, visitors from other parts of these interstellar federations stop by and visit our little backwater planet. And these are the UFOs of today. These visitors are not too different from us and already know our world, perhaps better than we do. I want to read that book. Just a second. Okay. The disclosure movement, disinformation. Would you say that there is one piece or group of evidence today that is a smoking gun for the existence of ETs? If there was a smoking gun, UFO hunters would have found it. Bill and I wanted a smoking gun. Producers wanted a smoking gun. History Channel wanted a smoking gun. Everyone wanted a smoking gun. The show would have made history if we could have found one. There was no smoking gun. The closest thing we have to a smoking gun is the cumulative testimony of hundreds of high-caliber witnesses. I see. Pat Oscar, everybody! UFOs and aliens, crop circles appear. The Watchers. Katy Perry's E.T., sci-fi fantasy or hidden meaning. Jackie O believed LBJ ordered JFK assassinated. Protesting power players at Bohemian Grove 2011. 2,000-year-old bell rings again in Jerusalem. Battle with the devil. The Mindscape of Alan Moore. Soylent Green is Peeps. That's funny. 6 strange stories of the stark naked. Let's jump ahead a couple of years. See where we find ourselves. Extraordinary Boutique. Oh, this is about when we start seeing the bees. Super creepy Halloween display. Congressional outburst. Becoming Bashar. Masquerading as an angel of light. The hell is this? Because, like, I saw someone else do a live stream about Bashar and other such things. Two Corinthians 11:14. For even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. In light of current events, back in 2013, one would presume that Googling the word Bashar would lead with endless results of President of Syria Bashar al-Assad. Oh yes, those current events. Rather, we find the top result is the official website for an entity named Bashar as channeled, in quotes, by a man named Daryl Anka. Bashar has been on my radar for several years, and I'd be remiss if I did not disclose that I used to find his revelations and affirmations to be quite inspirational. His explanations about how the universe works and how we all have the ability to tap into cosmic powers in an effort to literally shape our own reality. This is the secret. Are perhaps as silly as they are seductive, yet he's managed to amass a legion of followers who hang on his every word. Bashar claims to be an extraterrestrial from the distant future. His chosen vessel to communicate with humans in our time is Daryl Anka. Daryl and Bashar have been working together for 30 years. They claim to have shown thousands of people how to achieve enhanced creativity and abundance, mental and emotional clarity, improved health, enhanced love relationships, expanded psychic ability, increased self-love and self-acceptance, greater self-empowerment. While adherence to Bashar/Daryl's methods purport To be focused on universal love and light, their goals come straight out of Satan's handbook, literally. The Satanic Bible is nothing if not a book written about self love, self worship, and tapping into latent powers hidden within the self. Likewise, New Age enthusiasts glory in the power of the self and relish the opportunity to enhance their personal status of godhood. It was the first lie and it will be the last. I think I've stumbled into Christian nonsense. So, let us consider another point in time, 2015. What's with the bees? Exploring eternity? So I think it's bees from 2013 onward. That's pretty much extraordinary intelligence. Bees? The other thing we've got on the Wayback Machine is a website run by a gentleman, or it used to be run by a gentleman named Richard Hoagland. He has a hollow Iapetus theory that I want to see if I can find, but right now it appears to be like one of them knockoff news sites. So it must have also undergone changes over time. Let's poke around. First, log on the Wayback Machine. In 1996, brace yourselves. To boldly go where someone has gone before. I am not downloading anything. Enterprise ship section, store, communications conference, physics lab, planetary lab. Oh, physics lab, planetary lab, bridge, library. Confirmed John F. Kennedy's Grand NASA Plan, Part 1. Enterprise Mission Investigative Report in installments. Hoagland to give free workshop. Life on Mars found by Britons. Mars Global Surveyor. Art Bell. Let's see. Let's jump ahead. We've got a lot of captures in this. So this must have been like full of shenanigans. Give a timely exploration of the miracle of life on Earth from a totally new perspective. Ship stores. Hayabusa try apparently unsuccessful asteroid sample not retrieved. He has a blog, urge disclosure. Fascinating anomalies on Saturn's moon's Iapetus. This is what I was looking for. I like this picture. What Bowman discovers in the Saturn system on an enigmatic moon called Iapetus will forever change the destiny of humans. He's talking about this passage from 2001, A Space Odyssey. We've got close-ups of Iapetus, and he's going to spend 6 parts talking about them. I don't want to spend 6 parts talking about them. I feel like I should set the mood. Give me just a second. YouTube 4. Here we go. Because he eventually comes to this conclusion that Iapetus is hollow. I'm playing some. Let's turn the volume down. He comes to the conclusion that Iapetus is hollow. The surface evidence for an artificial Iapetus. There's a wall, which is this ridge here, that makes him look kind of like a walnut. There's these shapes here. These messed up looking crater things. Medium angle surface geometry. Close up surface geometry. Without a doubt, our most astonishing Iapetus discovery, unique so far in the solar system, instead of being spherical, is highly geometric. Geometric horizon. Geometric terminator. Truncated icosahedron. So he thinks Iapetus is a Death Star type construction that is also an icosahedron. We can now get to the good part. Good, because I skipped everything else. Tilted orbit. Iapetus is the only moon with a spectacular perspective on both the ring planet and all of Saturn's other moons. Considering that Chesley painted the above evocative scene decades before astronomers had anything but a winking point of light, anything to look at but a winking point of light, the resemblance to the Iapetus that Voyager and Cassini have now given us is startling. Which brings us to the overarching critical question. Just what the hell is Iapetus if it's not a natural moon? In part 5, we laid out 2 possible scenarios. One, this extraordinary object is deliberately constructed as an ark, an artificial world-sized spacecraft designed to rescue as many as possible from the imminent hyperdimensional explosion of an entire world. Okay, this guy really is big on this idea of hyperdimensional physics, which is supposed to, like, do all kinds of miracles and stuff. The destruction of a former major member of the Sun's planetary system, which now no longer exists, Planet V. An event which could have inevitably, disastrously affected the very existence of even an extremely advanced solar system-wide civilization, which we and others, based on a myriad of accumulating evidence, have proposed arose long before us, literally millions of years ago. Okay, so I think this is what they mentioned earlier. The idea of like, okay, so I think this is humans had like peaked forever ago, and they had this whole empire. So I feel like we should have seen the technology of that. I don't know. Possibility 2 is that Iapetus is a Death Star world created as an instrument of war by that same civilization, which is still humans' primary occupation, isn't it? An instrument then used by some unimaginable conflict in the solar system a long, long time ago. That Iapetus may somehow have been instrumental in creating the almost imaginable Holocaust, a literal war in heaven, which ultimately resulted in the deliberate destruction of that same doomed world, which Iapetus itself caught by the aftermath as an eternal silent tomb, forever trapped, now in a permanent, unique orbit around Saturn. There's a third possibility. Sometime before the destruction of Planet V in the natural course of the inexorable expansion through and colonization of the ancient solar system by our posited ancient advanced human civilization, Iapetus, a previously natural moon, when related with highly desirable raw materials, was specifically transformed for another purpose altogether, from being just a completely natural satellite into an artificially modified, carefully crafted designer world to serve as another highly specialized purpose, a vast orbiting hotel. Wow. Let's look something up. Maybe. Maybe this is it. It's listed as cranky. From the so-called Kuiper Belt? So-called. Saturn is hyperdimensionally significant. A created temple world. Think about it. Think about it. Good grief. Coast-to-coast transcripts. What have we here? What are we telling the world? You are absolutely convinced that the Mars photos show evidence of fossils and metal-cased objects, or do you think more research is needed? More research, Natch. Let me expand. What really bothered me about the space.com piece is that I carefully explained to Britt what kind of further tests would let us know about all this, and he simply ignored those scientific steps. Okay, so we're talking about the photographs of the face on Mars. It was a political slant through and through. Should be known as the man on fire. You do so enjoy your passion. I uphold your efforts. You're a wonderful example of grassroots. Only if those roots really want to grow. Could HARP be used as planetary defense? Not likely unless there was a scalar component. Visitors from space.com. Articles discussing the truth about Europa and Richard C. Hoagland's claims. Psycop gets a black eye. For years, the authors and publishers of Skeptical Inquirer, the monthly Bible of the Committee for the Scientific Investigation of Claims of the Paranormal, has tried to pass themselves off to unwitting scientists and the public as a voice of mainstream reason and sanity in the often chronically incoherent world of UFO and paranormal investigations. They have piously wrapped themselves in a papal robe. God damn you. I'm not reading any more of this. Face on Mars. Good God. Let's skip ahead some more. Let's go to 2008 because I feel like it. The hyperdimensional election of Barack Obama. Order the 3-hour DVD now. Hubble images first extrasolar planet. The hidden story of the asteroid, in quotes, Steens encounter. Enterprise mission goes to Washington. I feel like every time I look at a picture of Richard Hoagland, I immediately forget what he looks like when I look away. Private space mission finally succeeds. China, Beijing. Rosetta craft encounter asteroid Stein's first images. World-class astrobiologist says NASA's hiding life on Mars. Dark Mission being New York Times bestseller. Let's find the reviews. The Secret History of NASA. 176 ratings. So far, so confusing. Fucking mood. 67. It's a pretty even split then between critical and positive views. One small step for man. Not very good even for Hoagland. Another nail in Hoagland's coffin. Hoagland makes huge mistakes in assumption. Which I borrowed from the public library. Presently on page 171. Crystal instructions about the surface of the moon appear in photos taken by orbiters and astronauts. The buttresses in the painting are not structured, reflecting slanted inclined buttresses, but an astronaut's lunar footprint. Good start, but too many assumptions. More mysterious photos. Don't bother, borrow a copy. Richard Hoagland loves Richard Hoagland, and 80% of the book is about Richard Hoagland. Get the idea? Okay, so I wonder if he's written any more books. Let's go to the author page. We've got the Monuments of Mars. We've got not very many books. Let's check out the reviews for the Monuments of Mars. A city on the edge of forever. Dope title. Dope title. I might mangle that. Had a hard time being convinced that the photos showed nothing but rocks, except perhaps the face structure. Pareidolia, or the real deal? Pareidolia is the human phenomenon of seeing faces where there are none. Post hoc, ergo propter hoc, is a reference to a logical fallacy. After this, therefore, because of this, is an informal fallacy which states, since every event Y followed event X, event Y must have been caused by event X. He's dry. Skip it. Monuments of Mars. Some explanations seem due. Truly awful pseudoscience. Good book, but Hoagland needs some advice. Mountain or face, you decide. This is written by somebody named Alice Silver. Humans Are Not from Earth, a Scientific Evaluation of the Evidence, 2nd edition. Interesting cover. Empirical method in a losing competition with entertainment. fantasy delivered as popular science. The best author on the subject of human origins is Dart Lamorna, who provides real physical evidence, stunning theories, and scientific studies and information. Nothing to do with science. What a complete bunch of nonsense taken from the internet. Extreme confirmation bias, not for serious reading. To wander between subjects and rely on the author's feelings rather than the evidence presented. It is an interesting topic, but not one I'd continue to delve into. Interesting, but hardly compelling. The Allies of Humanity. Read the first UFO briefing from real extraterrestrial aliens who disclose the secret colonization plan of Earth by other self-serving ETs. Help me. Okay, that's Hoagland's 2 books, plus a little extra material. Von Braun's 50-Year-Old Secret, Part 2. Von Braun's 50-Year-Old Secret, Part 1. Hyperdimensional Physics. Again. God, Man, and E.T. Click here or call 1-877. Godspeed. Arthur. So he's croaked. Satellite shoot down. A hyperdimensional STI test. An Enterprise mission election white paper, The New Frontier of Hope. Torsion physics, key to saving the shuttle. Russian media publicity, Part 2. Is that him? Like I said, I keep forgetting. What Richard Hoagland looks like. Hoagland and Johnson to speak at National Press Club. Moon with a View, Part 7. The Bee's Needs. Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter takes first high-reg image of the face on Mars. Saturn hexagon baffles NASA but not Enterprise. Yowza. Let's check out 2017. Choose one at random here. Pluto, The Last Encounter. The Other Side of Midnight. New radio show. Curiosity stealth mission. Hoagland's Mars, NASA donate. What the Chinese really discovered on the moon. Okay, so these are from 2017, and he has not updated his web design overall. It only takes one white crow, the real agenda of NASA's Curiosity Mars rover mission. Pyramid power, NASA goes apartment hunting. A most hyperdimensional eclipse and final Venus transit. For the world is hollow and I have touched the sky on Phobos. So apparently every inexplicable thing is a hollow and artificially constructed structure in his brain. The Unexplained with Howard Hughes, The Norway Spiral, Dark Mission, Still getting advertised. World class estrogen. Some of this hasn't been updated in literally forever. Holy shit. What is the absolute latest? From Monday. This is the screen grab from Monday. We still have our eerie Saturn music in the background. I hope you guys can hear it. Okay, news now. Has it always been this way? Okay, the very last snapshot from last year is this stuff from 2017. Then it switches. There's like a few months hiatus, and I guess someone has bought the URL, and now it's a News Now website. So that was playing around with the Wayback machine and touching very briefly on pretty crazy theories. Turn off our creepy Saturn music for a second. I want to read that still. So that was that. Not quite the wild ride I was expecting, but I probably did go in expecting something kind of weird. At the very least, like, I at least knew what was coming. So